6 a.m. and can't make it to the alarm clock before the voices in your head start telling. Rise and shine. 6 a.m. and your hand can't make it to the alarm clock before the voices in your head start telling you that it's too early, too dark, and too cold to get out of bed. Aching muscles lie still in rebellion, pretending not to hear your brain commanding them to move. A legion of voices are shouting their unanimous permission for you to hit the snooze button and go back to dreamland. But you didn't ask their opinion. The voice you've chosen to listen to is one of defiance. A voice that says there was a reason you set that alarm in the first place. So sit up, put your feet on the floor, and don't look back, because we've got work to do. Welcome to the grind. For what is each day but a series of conflicts between the right way and the easy way? 10,000 streams fan out like a river delta before you, each one promising the path of least resistance. Thing is, you're headed upstream. And when you make that choice, when you decide to turn your back on what's comfortable, what's safe, and what some would call common sense, well, that's day one. From there, it only gets tougher. So just make sure this is something you want, because the easy way out will always be there, ready to wash you away. All you have to do is pick up your feet. But you aren't going to, are you? With each step comes the decision to take another. You're on your way now, but this is no time to dwell on how far you've come. You're in a fight against a boy you can't see, but oh, you can feel him on your heels, can't you? You're breathing down your neck. You know what that is? That's you. Your fears, your doubts, and insecurities all lined up like a firing squad, ready to shoot you out of the sky. But don't lose heart. While they're not easily defeated, remember, this is the grind. You and your mind, your body, and the devil on your shoulder who's telling you that this is just a game. This is just... Let's go, family. Good morning. Rise and shine. Another beautiful, blessed, and grateful day. Ready and fired up. We are actually over here in New Jersey. Took a trip over here for the weekend. We have some work to go ahead and get done. So blessed and grateful is an understatement, and fired up for today's topic on going ahead and making faith larger than our fears. We're going to be talking about the power of the sunrise versus the power of the sunset. So before we go ahead and dive into today's topic, let's go ahead and draw some gratitude down below. What is everybody grateful for? Grateful to be alive, grateful for God, grateful to be healthy, grateful for the abundance, grateful for the lessons, grateful for everything that is going down right here, right now, but because we know that life is happening for us and not to us, and we are expecting miracles and we're getting miracles every single day. So let's go ahead and get into it today. We are coming up on almost the end of the magic, right? This is honestly one of my favorite books that I've ever dove into. The reason being is because it gives you a tactical step, right? So every day that you wake up, there's going to be something you can go and implement into today. And I'm telling you, even today's training is something that you guys can get off today's call immediately and go ahead and put this into life and take action with what it is that you guys are about to learn. So here we go. We are on day 26 of day 28, going through the magic, and today's topic is going to be called magically transform mistakes into blessings, right? If we all think about it, we talk about it all the time. Oh, if I could go back in time, I would change this, I would do this a little bit different. Where here's the truth, right? Whatever has happened to us in our life has gave us the experience, has gave us what we needed in order to become the person that we are destined to go ahead and jump into. So think about your problems and mistakes that you made in the past, and I'm going to go ahead and put it into a completely different light than maybe you've ever thought about before. And the idea is now you can take this weight off your shoulders that's maybe been dragging you down for so many months, years, or maybe decades for some of you that are feeling this at that type of level. So here we go. You ready? Here's the quote: turn your wounds into wisdom, right? So many of us, like if you think about it, we all have scars, and at the end of the day, we all have wounds. So today I'm going to show you how to be able to teach from the wound. So here we go. Every single mistake is a blessing in disguise. Today's magical practice will prove that because you're about to discover that there are actually untold blessings hidden within every single mistake, okay? As a child, we all make many mistakes while learning how to, whether it be riding a bike, learning how to read, learning how to write, but we don't give it a second thought because as parents, we know that through their mistakes, they're going to learn and eventually master whatever it is that they're trying to do, right? So we all make mistakes, but the difference is being able to learn from them, grow, and evolve. So it talks about further down, we have the freedom to make our own choices, and that means we have the freedom
to also make mistakes as well. Mistakes can hurt, but if we don't learn from those mistakes we've made, the pain that we've suffered from it will actually begin to grow. So in fact, by the law of attraction, we make the same mistakes over and over and over again until the consequences hurt us so much that we finally learn from it. You guys ever heard the term "don't get burnt by the fire"? Right? Well, some of us as kids, I was that kid, right? Drop a 2 down below if you were that kid that had to get burnt by the fire, even though you got told multiple times not to go touch it, right? I've been there as well. That was me. And that's what happened in life. Some people told me to do different things. I had to go out and learn for myself a couple of different times to actually go out and learn the lessons. So today I'm gonna take you a blast through the past so you can really think about a couple of different mistakes that you've made in your life and learn how to look at it in a different light. Okay, so here was the challenge, here was the tactical action coming in today. It said, once you have chosen a mistake to magically transform into a blessing, look for the things to be grateful for. Right? To help you, there are 2 questions that you can go ahead and ask yourself. Number 1, what did I learn from the mistake? And number 2, what are the good things that actually came out of the mistake? And it talked about in the example today, how many of you guys have ever got caught speeding? You've ever been pulled over, right? That might have got us really angry, really frustrated in the moment, in that time. Well, watch what it said on how to actually look at that in a different light. It said, example, you got caught speeding. Number 1, you could look at it. I'm grateful for the police for wanting to protect me from harming myself, because after all, that was all they were trying to do. Number 2, I'm grateful for the police because if I'm honest with myself, I was thinking about other things and I wasn't even concentrating on the road. Third thing, I'm grateful for the police because it was foolish to put myself at risk of speeding with a tire that needs to be replaced. So God forbid, maybe that tire needed replaced, and if you were speeding, you could have gotten to a wreck that could have been 10 times worse than whatever actually happened in that period of time or in that moment. So think about whatever mistake that you guys have been through, whether you've got arrested, whether you've been in trouble, maybe something happened as a child and it's still affecting you now. To be able to look at that in a different light, here was the tactical action plan for today. It said, choose one mistake that you've made in your life and find a total of 10 blessings that you're grateful for as a result of making that mistake, and write it down. To be able to help you find your blessings inside of what you've done wrong is going to allow you to start to break the chains to your freedom. So this was great, right? It really made me think about different things I've done in the past and how much I've been able to grow and transform since that different state of thinking. So that was day 26, coming into the magic of gratitude. Now let's go ahead and dive in. Let me sit down so we can get into today's training, talking about the sunrise. Okay, this is honestly, we got this morning, and I'm going to go through some of my notes so you guys can really get the effect of what is that we learned today. But I'm telling you right now, how many of you guys have probably watched more sunsets than you've seen sunrises in your lifetime? And I'm going to go ahead and drop a 3 down below, because that's myself included. Drop some 3s if you believe that you've seen more sunsets than you've seen sunrises in your life. Drop some 3s down below, because I'm going to give you a profound training today that's going to put this into a whole different light for you, right? It's really going to make you think today. And honestly, it did the same for me this morning. So I hope it can do something similar for you. Our mentor cracks you open at a different level. So this is going to be great. Okay, here we go. It talks about, he talked about this morning, if you haven't fallen in love with yourself and the abundance that you truly have access to, most mornings is going to be very difficult, because we're stuck thinking in the past, right? So every day that we wake up, how many must have felt sluggish? We felt lazy. We felt like we've kind of just been in the same mundane negative energy. Okay, we've all been there. So we talked about this morning, there's 2 different ways that we can wake up. We can wake up remembering ourselves in the past for the mistakes that we did, for the person that we were, for the achievements that we had previously, or we can start thinking about the person that we're actually becoming, because he gave time a whole new meaning to me, and it started to make sense because I've heard a lot recently. He talked about, the old flex used to be staying up late. The new flex is actually waking up early. So how many of us actually stay up past 12 o'clock? 1, 2, 3. I used to be that person, right? Even trading London, I would stay up till 3 o'clock in the 9. Well, here's the difference. He said, when you go to sleep past 12, 1, 2, or 3, no matter what time zone you are, no matter where it is that you live, the new day starts at midnight, right? The second the clock strikes midnight, this is when the day actually begins. So if you're actually going to sleep hour, 2 hours late, 3 hours late, and you're wondering why you're waking up sluggish and groggy, it's because you've already started behind in the day. So let's take it a step further. By the time the sun rises, whether that be at 5:30, 6:30, 6:45 in your time, the day is already gone 6-7 hours into the day. So even just catching the sunrise, that might be early for some people, but you have to really put it in perspective. The difference with most is being able to understand that you are able to control your day and the day is not controlling you. So many of us, we wake up, we have to go to work, and we never had any time to think to ourselves, to journal, to actually take the time to be present and in the moment. Okay. So I want to go ahead and give you guys a couple of things to think about. And this is really big. So let me go ahead and get into my notes because I don't want to go ahead and take this off the top of the head because this is huge if you can really catch it. Okay. So here we go. Here's what he says. He says, what the sunrise is going to do, it's going to allow you to see yourself in a different light. And he goes a little bit deeper. He says, most people have storms in their life because we're waking up aggravated or waking up frustrated. And some people's storms are actually from other people, right? Sometimes we're not even frustrated about our own problems. We could be frustrated about those that are around us and all the negative conversations, all of the energy vampires that we're around with all the time. That guess what? Sometimes it's not even our thoughts that's destroying us, it's other people's. So here's the analogy that he put into today. He thought, and we're in Florida, we live in Florida, some of us that are on the call. So for those of you guys, this is going to make sense. In a hurricane, you have an eye of a storm, right? You have an eye of the storm. And what happens in any eye of the storm, no matter how big, no matter what category that the hurricane is, what happens in the eye of the storm? Drop it down below. In the eye of the storm, there's calmness, there's complete peace, there's bliss, right? It could be going 140, 150 mile an hour winds, but in the eye of the storm, there is complete calmness, right? So we talked about inside of our lives, how many of us have storms going on in our life? Every single person walking. I don't care if it's the neighbor. I don't care if they're in Jersey. I don't care if they're in Florida. They're in Slovenia. Everybody has storms going on in their life. But the difference is how many of you can be the eye in the middle of the storm. I'm telling you, this put it in a whole different perspective. How many of you can be the eye in the middle of the storm going on in our life? We all have this madness going on, but how many of us can keep the calmness, the peace of mind to be able to not only be able to control our life, but to be able to be the eye of the storm in other people as well? Because here's the truth. Everybody has storms going on, but if you can be the eye, now you're able to completely block out the noise, block out all of this rain, the sleet, the snow, and able to have sunshine no matter where it is that you guys are at, because you have peace of mind and you're clear. You're not foggy. I talked about this yesterday, honestly, when Kev came over. Kev actually took a 4-hour drive, 4-hour journey to come get the mentorship for 2 days. And one of the biggest things they just downloaded to me as we were talking, and I was thinking about, most people go into negativity because they're not taking the time to actually think for themselves. And that was such a huge clicking point, because if you think about it for yourself, how many of us are just branching off into negative thoughts because we don't have anything more positive? We don't have a DMP to actually focus on, a definite major purpose. And I went into it deeper yesterday. There was a time when I used to be bored all of the time, and I would find myself with distractions and scrolling. But the difference was when I started to get my priorities, when I started to figure out my purpose, the time that I used to spend on distractions and wasting time and doing absolutely nothing, now it became more focused. It became IPAs. It became action oriented. So I had so much time that I was focused on to-do lists and actually getting things done. I didn't have any space for the storms anymore. I didn't have any space to think about the negativity anymore because I was focused on where I was going. I was in the eye of the storm. Even with all of the problems, all the madness going on, tunnel vision, right? Flow state. This is where flow state comes in. Why do you think that there's freak athletes that they can be standing at a free throw line with thousands of people watching them, all of this noise, all of this madness going on, but they're still able to keep their composure and make the free throw in a game buzzer at the end of the game? What is that? That's being able to keep calm in the storm. And every one of us has this power. So here's how you start to do it. You ready? Early in the morning. Robin Sharma, the 5 a.m. Club. Hopefully you guys get a chance to actually go ahead and dive into it. But he talks about, if you can go ahead and get up early in the morning and start thinking your own thoughts before anybody else is awake, this is where the real magic happens. And Neno went over it beautifully on today's call. For this week, what if we could just go ahead and focus on mastering our mornings, right? On being able to catch the sunrise and being able to get everything down. Meditation, journaling, exercise, reading, all of these different things before even the 9 a.m. call. This is where the true growth begins. This is where the real inner work really happens. And if there's one thing I can tell you in 5 years plus being in this business, You're not going to get to where you want to go playing at the surface level, playing small, thinking you can just get on these calls, take a couple of notes, think you know everything, and then just wait for the results to happen. I've been there and I've held my breath. Don't wait too long because it's never going to be able to happen. So the inner work is what I really had to do. I went from a person of thinking all of my thoughts on paper to being able to put them on down in a to-do list, to be able to get a calendar, right? Matt Rosa told me this 5-6 years ago. I'll never forget it. He says, show me your calendar and I'll show you your income. So if you don't have a calendar to go ahead and wake up early, to have a morning routine, to time block and schedule your day, this was one of the biggest things that allowed me to create a breakthrough inside of, forget just business, inside of my life, right? You start to master your life, you're going to be able to master your business, because how we do anything is how we do everything. So if we can start to get up early to catch these sunrises and feel the magic and feel the joy of the morning before everybody else is even up, this is where you start to actually develop the true inner self that you've been waiting to see. So I want to go ahead and give you guys a visualization, because we all love visualizations, right? Because it allows you to see things in a different light. So this was today's. I want you guys to understand the power of being able to get clear-minded and the difference between what happens when you're foggy and when you're clear and when you know exactly what it is that you want. And a big part of this comes from the morning. So here's my visualization for you guys today. I want you to go ahead and close your eyes, okay? I'm going to give you 3 things to draw. This is great. I'm telling you. If you really implement this, you're going to see where I'm going with this. You ready? So go ahead and close your eyes. I'm going to give you about 20 seconds. Close your eyes. Get your piece of paper. And I want you to go ahead and draw a box. Close your eyes and draw a box. Just take 20 seconds. Draw a box as best as you can with your eyes closed. Okay? And I want you to see what the box looks like. Is it a little scribbly? Is it a little messy? Now I want you to do the exact same thing right underneath that box. And I want you to draw that box, but I want you to take a peek for 1 second when you're halfway through it so you can see what it looks like, and then close your eyes and finish it. Right? So go ahead and draw your box, get halfway through it, take a look at it, close your eyes, and now finish the rest of the box. So you got an idea on how to go ahead and make this one look a little bit cleaner than the last one, because you got to look at it a little bit longer. You got to have a little bit more focus, a little bit more clarity. Now for this third time that you draw the box, I want you to draw the box with your eyes open. Draw the box very clear, and let me know how much clearer that box looks compared to the other two. Does that one look a little bit more structured? Does that one look a little bit more organized? Does that one look a little bit more sharp? You see, this is the difference with most of us in our life. We're the first and we're the second box. We have no clarity, we have no vision, and we're waking up every day just to go ahead and jump into life. And we have all these problems going, we have all this noise, and we can't see our vision clearly. We can't see our purpose clearly. So the rest of everything else gets foggy, and we don't get the results that we want because we're not taking the action, because we don't know exactly where to start. So today, I want you to really think about your purpose, your definite major purpose, your vision. Where do you want to go? Who do you want to become this summer? What do you want your body to look like? What do you want your mindset to look like? What kind of peace of mind do you want to be able to have anywhere at any time, no matter what is going on in your life? These are things that I wanted to master, right? And to leave you off with this is one of the most game-changing things, because these are the type of lessons that I love, because it doesn't matter where you're at in the world. It doesn't matter where, how old you are. You can implement this tomorrow. Tomorrow's sunrise that comes up, you guys can go ahead and start implementing this routine and watch how much better you feel. Because think about it like this. If the sun can give everything else nutrients, it gives the birds nutrients, it gives the plants nutrients, why can't it give us that same type of abundance? It can, and it does, if you're willing to go ahead and make the changes. So with that being said, family, I love you guys. If you got any value from today, go ahead and smash that like button, drop some 7s down below. And if you are ready to go ahead and take this 7-day challenge to catch these next 7 sunsets and feel the difference, feel the energy, feel the vibration of getting up before the rest of the world, I'm on this journey with you guys. So I love you. Go out and have a phenomenal day. I'm excited for you. Let's go ahead and finish off this month of July with a bang and get ready and set ourselves up for August, because August, there's only a month and a half left until we're going out to Glendale, Arizona, and we are about to experience the event of a lifetime. So I love you, family. Go out and be great. If nobody told you today, I believe in you. You are abundant. You are amazing. You are magical. It just takes you to meet me halfway to go ahead and believe in yourself, family. I love you. Let's have a great day. It's game time. Let's go.